man.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to yeah, get this going. I know we said we was gonna do it last week, and a lot was going on last week. So we wanted, touch base this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
True,
I
God.
can
So,
hear you.
so where we at, man? I got a gang of shit going on my plate too, man. So,
Um, where we at was last time I spoke with you. You was checking in with some other detail guy with the attorneys. How that make out?
um, I didn't retain one, guy. So I still need one.
Okay. Well, that was the last time me and you built, and you was going to be getting back to me after you got down here, Victory of Law. Y'all did some wonderful pictures down here, and thank you for your presence.
Indeed, God.
Other than that, with me, we were supposed to be coming to an understanding on how we was going to move forward with putting together a plan from the operating agreement to a LLC and bringing all the other different expertise that we needed to bring into the cipher so that we can begin to draw up what would be the strategy moving forward. So K Born was supposed to bring some people into the mix, and Joaquin was supposed to be, adding on to some things as well. On my end, I'm still working on what I have down here. Getting ready to meet with the city next week to complete my process. It's a long drawn out process because I'm not dealing with something that's a simple thing and this rehab it. I'm knocking down a whole project and rebuilding it and rezoning it. So it probably be completed by next year, but it's in the mix with the city. And other than that, I just been maintaining to see which way we want to go since Law Infinite had the City of the Gods event. So that's my report of what I recall that Will Ass was building about it. I miss anything?
Yeah, type of God.
Yeah, everything went well with with the event. As I built with you, Supreme Mathematics, there wasn't like a whole lot of money made. We let 5%ers in for free. But what was demonstrated was the positivity that can be utilized for that space. I got some great footage. I got some stuff for TV, uh, 7 on demand stuff that that we've been building on. Got some great material there.
All right, positive, God.
Yeah, it was a positive thing. I mean, there was some hiccups. Right now we're dealing with the criminal guard element. I guess he doesn't really understand how this thing goes in terms of how we operate at a law school or as a nation. Maybe he's been outside. He says he was born in the nation, but he has some misconceptions of how we do things. So I think he's under assumption that he's going to come to a law school and talk about take over or something like that, or remove Dark Kim out. And it's just some things that we're dealing with. So myself, Born King and Born Justice is handling. But outside of that, the event was positive, and like I said, it demonstrated what can be done with that space. There's a lot that can be done with that space, especially in the warmer months. So yeah, so that's
My
the
suggestion, my suggestion to you, Almighty, is I get some of them coming in, they Johnny come lately, they being birthed and born into the nation, and and they think that gives them a privilege to extend themselves through what they say out their mouth without actually putting the work in. Um, However, Lord Jamel had made a good suggestion to me, which is to use the platform at Mount Morris Park, or now the formerly known Marcus Garvey Park, for events like something like that, because you know, sometimes we bring people to our school and it's not actually safe to do so. Um, we lose money because people don't want to give back and do certain things. And when we got an agenda like what we're working on now, we need everything to come in. Um, I appreciate you, you know, being transparent about, you know, what you didn't do, what happened, and some of the hiccups. But we got to put people in a stage forum and kind of like curtail things from the school. I think until we get that school situated, I think there's an occupancy limit going on there. I also see, you know, from a distance, you know, that we got those who still want to come there and participate in the substance and you know, things like that. And you know, this was a last minute thing. It did draw a large crowd, but we need to be mindful. We're dealing with people who want to entertain, and entertainment needs to be directed in an entertainment setting. You know, our school is not always an entertainment setting for certain things. And when we dealing with, you know, creating data and real estate and marketing and what we're working on, sometimes we got to keep some of this stuff kind of private, you know, and not give it up to everybody because they just not mature enough and ready to handle certain things. They want to be out there, but then I don't think some of them are educated and experienced enough, have been through some of the bumps and bruises that we've been through to be able to stand firmly on the square and build on today's mathematics, you know, righteously without causing some type of static. So, you know, that's why you see some of that happen. But that's just my suggestion, God. You know, moving forward, maybe getting Apollo Theater or getting into an arena where we can bring the revenue in. No excuses for nobody. We need to raise capital and we need to stay focused on that capital because that capital that's lost, it's not like it's a tax write off or anything like that. That's money that's gone. And
We
we
got another spot that's other than Mount Morris Park because I mean, you know, when we do events like this, you know, it's going to be a Harlem thing sponsored by the gods pretty much. You know what I mean? So you got another spot beside Mount Morris Park that's a little bit more Bronx friendly too, and
what
that's
is it?
Grant's Tomb. You know,
Okay.
both of them are run by the New York City Parks Department. You
Okay.
know, so it's basically all you got to do really is get a permit and then like you know dance around the city machine because you know they want to make some money too and shit. You know, but there's ways and means to be able to get around. You come with a nonprofit and you know the whole ropes, and then you know you got to pay the police department because they feel like you know it's a safety issue, you know, and stuff like that. But Grant's Tomb is another place that we could do events that you know we could charge an admission, and you really can't even charge an admission. I mean, you can, but then it becomes a difficult. But what you got to do is you got to charge a donation and then make like a suggested donation. You know what I mean? Well, that's the way we did the Seven Arts Fest when we did it in Medina at Commodore Berry Park or City Park.
Yeah, God, you know, that's why I'm just bringing that up, you know, to the God, you know, because me and you had built about it the same day the God did the video with me, Master I see God, and you know, I want to see us get some revenue coming in, whatever park will work out, Grand Park or any type of indoor, just in case it's a rainy day. Anything we can work on to create this revenue, because we got a lot of ideals, God, but again, it's only a few of us that see certain things into the future. And right now, the school is in the hands of, you know, Belial and them right now with the program that they're working on. And I haven't heard much about it after the last meeting we had. So, you know, we doing anything that we can add on to them or what we doing to add on throughout the regions is what I'm trying to establish today. You know, what is our goals that we trying to work on here? Because we got data, we got, you know, what you working on, Lord Jamel. I'm dealing with the commercial and the residential real estate. And, you know, I want to understand what platform we're going to lay down so we can get some type of momentum going.
Well, let me just add on in terms of the location of a law school. I think that is a premium spot for us to do events like that. You know, I understand the politics. I understand the you know that there's you know sometimes it may not work out a certain way, but that is an actual premium site. If we put our mind to it, it is a great location. And we do have to put in the mind of our nation's citizens that, when we do events like this, it is something to raise capital. So they should participate in adding on capital to these events. And this was the first event. And for it to be the first event like that, like I think it went, very, very well. Like I said, despite whatever hiccups, but that is a premium, a nice premier spot, and especially the history that it has behind it. That people came out, Shannon Briggs came out, Loaded Lux came out, and this is just really on, a minimum level of promoting it. So, if we was to really put our minds to it and deal with those elements in terms of even screening, because I didn't screen this time, so that's I could be on me. That's on me in terms of the content of it, but that's a very a beautiful spot that we have there, and we shouldn't sleep on it.
That's peace, God. Like I said, I'm just making a suggestion, God.
No, your suggestion is welcome, God. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, God, because you
Real
right.
quick question, God. I agree, God. The location is prime. Allah knew what he was doing. My concern is volume. Like, what was your capacity, or what do you think the capacity would be to do an event at a law school?
Okay, so that's a great question. When I built with Doc Kim, he said the capacity is 400 people.
Right.
Supreme Mathematics advised me to get a tally clicker. So I got a tally clicker, and there was on a tally clicker, it was 115 people. There wasn't no hazard. There was no problems. Actually, interesting thing is, last year at a bigger location, Bronx Landia, the brother that we did it with, did it, and the fire department shut him down. But this year, the fire department came out and was, actually enjoyed the show, was a part of the show. So that just shows you how how much we engage the community, and that the people, actually enjoy something like this. And I think that if we do something like this and we put on for the community, you know, yeah, we will get a good turnout. You know what I'm saying? But this time, like I said, to answer your question, was 115 people.
Oh, no, nah. I mean, how many people came in? That's immaterial. The real thing is that there's a formula for making currency when you're doing events, and that formula is ticket price times uh what was it? 1/3 capacity, right? Times divided by your cost to put a performance on. So you got you got to look at the capacity of the venue in order to be and then you want to take 1/3 of that, because you're always going to make a third, and anything more than that is going to be gravy. Anything less than that, then you kind of you know had a little couple hiccups or whatever. But and then you got to look at what's the cost of your production, and take away the cost of your production from your possible revenue. Your possible revenue should be looked at as 1/3 of your house times your ticket price.
And so my question is this, God, how would that move forward with what we're working on with the data and then getting that in your platform and executing that way it can get repeated views and raise up some capital that way?
Well, the way is this way, God, because it works in multiple ways. The first way would be, we should do an electronic ticket sale or electronic sign in when you come into the venue. So now we have their information that we can market to them, whatever else it is that we're doing. So, we build the following that way. And then secondly, I track everybody who even goes on 7 on demand on any format. So once we put it out there, man, we have access to the information. So I'm not sure Infinite was better to tell me to answer this question. If somebody clicks on one of your videos on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, do you know who it is?
No,
Or
that's only through, you know,
that's only if they comment
if they comment, and then I usually, you know, collect
or
email.
subscribe.
Yeah, right. So I can see the subscribers. I could, yes,
Right.
when they subscribe, see
And
the
you can see the
subscribers.
comments.
Pardon me?
You can see the comments.
Yeah, I can see the comments, and then I usually engage
But
them.
what you
When
can't see,
when people ask for, like, you know, what's going on with the nation, or what, you know, if they want knowledge and wants, you know, anybody in their
right,
area,
right.
I get
All
they.
the comments. All the comments and all the subscribers you can see. Do you have their demo information? Like, can you have their email address and phone number or just their name?
Well, I would have to do that manually, go through all the subscribers and see, you know, what email is attached
When
to
they give you the list of your subscribers, the
that.
email is not attached.
No, no, you
The
got to go
phone
through
numbers
all
are
that.
not attached. Right.
No,
So
you got
basically,
to go,
they're
you
doing
got to
is,
go through you got to go through each one of them and look in the actual information of the subscribers. So
oh yeah, yeah. So
that's
you got to
arduous
look
task.
them up.
Yeah, yeah, that's a arduous task to do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
And that's an impossible task when you got the kind of numbers that you got, God. All
Yeah.
right. So the reason why I'm asking is because YouTube has that information or Instagram has that information, and basically they're data mining off your work,
Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
right? So
So,
that's
so the
why.
idea is the data mine off our stuff. Like, that's what,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some people
Right,
know, right? That's our idea. Indeed.
right.
Correct. That's why I'm asking the question I'm asking, so we can get that platform. And if we're raising capital based on, based on what you said, Lord Jamel, and what you both know, then I can come in and see how I can be a contributor from my standpoint, because I'm not in that field. My expertise is over here, but I see the potential and the kinetic energy that can be put into that to help bring in that revenue and then get it where we can control it. I thought that was the master plan.
It
It
is the
is.
man. It is. It
Hell
is.
yeah, God.
You know, it's just that the hiccups were, you know, dealing with the politics of a law school in Mecca. You know, a lot of older brothers had some concerns. Some warranted, some a little bit outrageous, but it is what it is, right? And we were managing that. We were managing, having 85% come to, our house. Dealing with, the security, dealing with all these different things, variables. So this event really just showed us, really, like I said, the possibilities and what we can do, and point out to, okay, well, yeah, we did make a lot of money. Well, why didn't we make a lot of money? Because we let a bunch of 5%ers in for free, right? But that's okay. That's okay to show that you see what we did. You see what we did here. Now, think about how going forward, what it was going to look like if we are all on the same page. Because it didn't seem like we were all on the same page this time. We just had to, certain things were just falling apart as we put an event together. But when the event happened, it was, wow, that actually was great. You know what I'm saying? And like, some older guards were in the background saying, well, why can't we bring that to the show and prove? Well, we can. You know what I'm saying? We very, very well can. Just, we just gotta all get on the same page. It just seems like, brothers were more, thinking about tearing it down or shutting it down before it even happened. But when it happened, it's like, oh wow, this is what can be done. So, data was collected on this. So, and even those who don't collect data, people just actually recognize something. Actually, we have prime real estate, and we could do beautiful things with that space, despite all the other politics, or whatever's happening, within that space. But it's a beautiful space, and we can do a lot.
So what was the spillover? I'm just curious as to what was the spillover onto the public street.
It wasn't much of a spillover. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, good.
Much of it was contained inside. However, that is a concern, because I saw how it was for Bronxlandia in 2023. And that was part of why the fire department shut him down, because, the brother did it incorrectly in terms of having a fire grill in front of, like, the exits and whatnot. So if anything would happen and people had to rush out, they would be trampling over these fire grills. So
Right.
within this is like, the fire grill was inside, was contained, everything was, all contained. And being that the capacity was 400, it didn't exceed that. It only exceeded like 115 people. So we had
Right.
enough.
So basically, you came close to the model, G, and the model is 1/3. You know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
came very close to 1/3 of your capacity, God. That's
Mhm.
all you could really plan for.
Mhm.
You could hope for more, but you can only plan for that. So you
Mhm.
did great, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
kudos, man. You did great, G.
Yeah,
Worked hard.
it was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just excited like to get back with y'all and just, put together the plans to going forward to show that, yeah, this is something that we can continually do to generate data, generate, interest in what we're doing, and it all ties into, what you're doing with 7 on Demand, and even, some of the stuff that you building on in terms of real estate, Supreme Mathematics. So, you know, I'm just really just trying to connect all the dots and make it all make sense.
So I mean, what I'm doing right now, man, is I'm in the lab basically. I'm getting the Supreme Mathematics Awards ready for release on 7. I was going to release it in October, but then I was like, no, I think I'm gonna release it in September and then do a special promotion in October. So I'll air it free in October, um, just one time. Um, but I'm gonna release it in September, so it's gonna be on the pay-per-view in September.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I'm in a
And
lab.
and then for for the nation's anniversary, 60 years, then I'll air it free.
Mm, right on, right on. It's all edited. You got it all edited and everything.
No, man, that's what I'm doing now, man. I was chopping away at it as we speak, man. You know what I mean? I mean, the switcher was good, but it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? And the thing is that because they filmed on red, which was not my suggestion, I'm having a hard time converting red footage into something I could edit.
Mm,
Red footage is so big and so massive
mhm.
that the computer keeps shutting down. I got to do one camera at a time.
Yikes.
And then I gotta scale it down to something where I can put all 5 cameras or all 4 cameras into the timeline at one time. So we gotta do one at a time, and it's taking 3 days
Mm.
for each camera to render so that you could um, scale it down from the massive file that it is.
So you are you familiar with working with proxies? Is that
No, Bill.
Yeah, like these are proxies, like where you work with small files and they're attached to the the bigger files. So you won't necessarily be using the bigger files. You'll be using the proxy files, which are the smaller files, in editing, and then you basically replace them. Gil would have a better understanding of that. Maybe I get on a call with him and ask him to deal, because on my end, I don't have that problem. Only problem that I have is that the footage is flat and I have to do color correcting afterwards, which is what I have to do anyway. But
But
yeah.
see, I do that. I color because cameras are pretty set. So what I do is once I get everything all into one MP4 file, I color correct it before I do any editing. So I just color correct everything. So now when you and the new Premiere has AI color correction, so you could like tell it what kind of color correction you want. So you just give it a master file, and it'll correct all the rest of them to equal that file.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm in the midst now. I'm at the the beginning stages of editing myself. So I know Supreme Mathematics Awards. You got that. You got that.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, by the time we was like halfway through the production, the switching was good. It's the earlier part, the first half, that I guess they didn't have practice. The switching wasn't good. You know what I mean? They're looking at people's asses, looking at their backs rather than their fronts. You know what I mean? Looking away from or cutting people's heads off, just different kind of stuff, Gene.
Okay. So you said, but later on in the production it got better, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. By the time we was halfway through, they start getting clean, nice clean cuts.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that, like, all the dead spaces got to be edited out.
Right.
Like the times when we was disheveled and didn't know exactly what we was doing and how we was doing it. That dead space got to get cut out.
Okay. Right.
So I'm just going through that. So I mean, and I don't want to cut out the dead spaces on one camera. I would rather like get all the cameras together and then cut out the dead spaces. And I can't get all the cameras together because it shuts down my computer.
It's too heavy.
Correct.
You're editing in Premiere.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the latest version of Premiere, the 2024.
So do I. So yeah, like I said, I'll get on a call with Gil to see what he could help you out with in terms of the proxies and making it the editing smoother for you.
Yeah, that would be great, guy.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to look at the stuff that I sent you, the EUC stuff, man, and how we could adjust that and make that work for us? So that we could basically be like under contract to be able to everyone do their specific task.
I looked at some of it. I didn't get to go over all of it to draw a complete understanding, but I
Okay.
did announce some of it.
All you really need to look at is the benefit package. I gave you a benefit package of the benefits of alliance, the benefits of a consortium, so to say, right? Some of the different implement things that we can implement to be able to make it attractive to the kinds of people that we want to join us.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. I'll revisit that, and we could build on that. Sometime during the week.
So the other thing is that I did invite Lord Divine to come on to the call because he's the real estate investor that I was talking about in Ohio, in Cleveland. You there, guy?
I'm here.
Please go. I'm listening.
Yeah. So remember we were saying that we could bring some people in, and we were talking about different areas in which to, of course, like this is down the line because first we need to like structure. First we need to lay the foundation, right? Then we need to develop that structure before we even think about moving on anything. So
Correct.
the foundation is this, what the gods agree is reality, right? We agreed there was no mystery god. So what the gods agree is reality, right? And then once we agree on like, what kind of structure we're going to use, whether we're going to go LLC or corporation or whatever, or just a what was the other one that's rarely used in Black communities, and that's
Companies and trust.
whether well now yeah, trust are rarely used too, but there was another one which was like
S corporation or you talking
investment group.
Yeah,
An investment group.
No, I didn't hear that
So
mentioned.
you can have investment groups that are not LLCs or corporations, but and there's a lot of them too. Like a lot of devils have a lot of different investment groups.
So how they structure them?
We need to find out, God. You know what I mean? I just know that that they exist, and we got to find out how they're structured. When we was visiting it before with the EUC, they decided that they wanted to go with the LLC, so I dropped the investigation. And right now, I'm kind of overwhelmed with trying to get this property in New York. The other things I got on my plate, so I really don't have time. I'm not taking on anything new. You know what I mean? If it's not already on in my field of vision, I ain't fucking with it.
All right, so
because I'm overwhelmed.
we got a double-edged sword we dealing with here. We got our own mental capacity we dealing with from Master I See God, yourself, Infinite, and Allah Infinite, myself, and then we got this other platform here that we dealing with throughout the regions here. So how are we going to master plan all this?
And that's why I thought that the EUC's structure would help us.
So that was a document you sent us, and I read over, which was a template, correct?
Correct. So we
Right.
don't have to follow that exactly. We could adjust it. You know what I mean? So it already comes with guidelines and just job descriptions, all of that shit.
Right. I went through it, God. I went through it with a fine comb. That's the one you had situated in Delaware. I went through it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we just need everybody to get on board to read that so we can come back and do the proper structure, whether it's an investment group or whatever have you. That's what we need, because nothing was offered outside of that.
So this way, we just adjust it to our needs. It's not fixed in stone.
No, it's not. It doesn't need. I told you, God, it was going to need some tweaking. When I read through it, and you agreed. So yeah. So what we need to do is we need to get a head count of who we got structured amongst this particular team, structuring for this platform. Because it appears to me we're doing a double-edged sword here. We got the region, and then we got us as inside expertise, and we need to get these expertise on a platform where we can agree with what you sent. And then once we get that agreed upon, then we can see what state is best to fit that for tax purposes, inside protection, and so forth and so on. So let's make note on that, so that the next meeting, everybody that's not here, we can present that so that we can begin to eat and chew at that and get an understanding on what we're gonna build to do. Because right now we just got ideals that we throwing across the table right now. So Allah Infinite, if you want to put that in, so we can get an agenda on first, how we want to curtail that into what Lord Jamel gave us, so it can be reviewed, and then come back and have everybody review it so they can put in their input on it. And if we agree in accordance to non-cipher agreement, non-free cipher, then we move forward on that agreement, because at least we got an operating agreement in place. Then getting the LLC or become an investment group and structure and all that, that's minute to the operating agreement. How we gonna operate is supremely the real order. Or is bond. That's why I asked you the operating agreement before you dealt with Dark Eminem. I said, God, anything we doing moving forward, we have to get in writing. I get it. Everybody wants to say their word is their bond. I get that, but we doing business, and it requires a different scale of mental understanding, because we doing things that require tax write-offs or tax gains. It's a lot involved in this, and we need the right people with the right minds to understand how we gonna operate moving forward, so that when the money comes in, it's people that are doing things are getting paid for their work. Because I'm not working for free. None of us should be working for free. And if we're gonna be born in LLCs and using our LLCs as leverage to this particular large LLC that we're creating, we want to make sure that those LLCs are protected, and that they're not the corporate veil doesn't get broken. That's important, because people behaviors sometimes what causes hiccups, and can, instead of money coming in, now we got to go and deal with money going to fight to keep it structured. I seen some things that Lord Jamel had in there. I think we do need a CPA attorney, someone that knows that law, depending on the state, and can adjust things with us with what we know. But we look at it first, and then present a CPA attorney, and having a public accountant be able to give us their expertise on that, so that way we know for sure that everything that we're doing is not only 1% right and exact, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Well, one of the things that we designed into the EUC structure, right, was, for lack of a better word, parasitic. So whenever we need something, like you just said that we needed a certified public accountant.
Right, God, I went through some of that with you when we was
So,
building.
so what we do is we bring them in.
Right, and join them in. Right.
Whatever it is that we need, even if they don't want to partner with us at first, once we buy their service and we bring them in, You know what I mean? We start utilizing their service. The whole thing is geared toward if you want to keep our business, you join.
Correct. Correct. That way they locked in with us to protect our interests and to perform when we need to perform on their interest that is invested from that agreement. That's why I said the operating agreements is so essential.
And it also creates the most important thing in any one of our individual endeavors. And that is the mastermind alliance. Now
Absolutely.
you've got people that you could confer to in the professional fields to be able to help you with it, whatever it is that you are personally doing.
Absolutely. It's in-house protection and outside protection at our fingertips. And that's what I like. That's peace of mind to me. That's priceless. So that needs to be put on the table along with the operating agreement, so make note of that as well, Allah Infinite, because what the God just touched on, what I'm building about is in the same direction. There's levels to this. So that first level is that operating agreement, and that next level is to get those who are outside, because these people don't get paid directly from the over. Like, I'm gonna just use equity for instance. If we equity sharing, then there's a certain amount of people going to get paid off that equity, and there's a certain amount of money that's got to come out of our pocket. So we got operating income, and then we got passive income, and we need to form a trifecta so that whatever holding companies or whatever companies we're holding to protect our interests. So if anybody do screw up, it don't affect the entire business from flowing. It is affect that individual, and that individual must be dealt with according to their behavior. You know what I'm saying? So that the outside and inside protection is maintained to continue the day-to-day business. If somebody passes away, we got that set up to take care of their family, their heirs, and things like that. There was things like that was inside of there that, we may need to look into. That, again, that goes into insurance policies and having the right, type of person that has a thorough knowledge of those policies, and making sure that we're comfortable with those policies and that we can make adjustments based on that, retirement plans and things like that. We, each one of those particular things in that operating agreement, Allah Infinite, when you do the knowledge to it, it touches base on a lot of things. And me and the God build about, just what we speak about now, which is having certain expertise be signed on with us, so that everything that we're doing is not outside of us. They involved. They know us, we know them.
Good day.
So I think that will move forward on the next bill, because to lay down the law principles, accounting principles, and lay down the law and the operating agreement will definitely then begin to curtail, to scale up to what kind of name we want to call this, LLC or investment group. And then now I can say, okay, now I'm contributing this. Here's my contribution to this, and it's a continuous contribution, be it real estate, be it economically or education, whatever the contribution is going to be. We need to know what those contributions are going to be by every professional individual, be it in the nation or not. I don't think we going into whether everybody should be in the knowledge of self. It will be wonderful, but we don't have people that's all the way there yet that agree 100% with those teachings yet. But we can introduce that as we move forward. However, my whole entire picture is this. We need a platform where we got all that locked down and we have control over it.
Right.
Like the real estate, the data, the 7 on demand, we got full control over that equity, so that if we need to make a decision on that equity, is made by a group of sound-minded people who are already doing certain things and know the parameters of taking money and moving big money and making large decisions, so that the benefit of the whole entire group gets rewarded based on what we do, because we all can't be in that same field. So we got to be a master at our craft, so that we can articulate it the right way, and then have these people being able to sign off on it, so we got peace of mind. And then I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to get documents together, because I reviewed what the God is building about already. So I'm gonna go over it again, and I'm gonna keep going over it until we get to that point where we can actually say it's perfected to our likings. Then we can move forward.
Indeed.
So that's what this meeting should have been about, that. And then we've been planning to have certain people come in and examine them for those different type of situations and those type of expertise. I enjoyed the whole entire weekend with the show and prove. I enjoyed, the Polygon. There were some things I saw in the very beginning, with the guard. He was having little issues with the computer and things like that. I played various different roles where I can assist that, where the guard needed me at and where he didn't need me at. However, there's, everything we do is requiring us to tap into what we I'm uncomfortable with certain environments. I don't like going to certain environments because of the behavior of people. So I may not always come in to those type of ciphers. However, you know, I will make some real estate suggestions because that's still real estate. We got if you or even if you own land or you in a building, you still doing real estate. So we need to know if it's a spillover. How do we handle that? If this building we're getting, how do we handle the criteria of that? Because all of us have different expertise that we're dealing with, but nothing gets past or supersedes the real estate guard. That is key. Whether it's land, water, air, it don't matter. It's still real estate. The problem that I'm having is getting them to come into a commercial state of mind about it. And that's where me and Infomega was going. You see, well, God, the data is important. Yes, because that shit is happening in nanoseconds. However, where's it being controlled at? If it's being controlled out of your rest, then we what happens if that gets compromised? Then where do we go? We need some place that we can call our own. So that's what Master RC Guard was supposed to be dealing with, how to secure that in a way where we know that there's a backup system and another backup system. If anything should fail, we got control over it.
Well, that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with now. I don't know if you're on that email list. He's been sending out some work that he has done. I want to say, Jamel, you're on that list as well.
Yes, I am.
Right. So
I didn't receive anything from him, God. He told me he's gonna get something to me. Can you forward that to me, please? I don't have that.
Okay, we'll do. Yeah, because he has that, and then there's other brothers that have been adding on. There's another brother from Tampa, Florida, Knowledge Born, who also deals with cybersecurity and is an expert in that field, who contributed to a Zoom call that Master IC had. So yeah, I mean, these things are all in motion. Being that you didn't get the email, so you're not up to date with that, but I'll forward it to you so that you can be up to date and try to get you on that list so that everything that is being said that you're aware of. Because like recently, Kasim, one of the artists, he put something up on the DSPs, the digital service providers, and they took his stuff down. So I'm saying that it's all important for us to have our infrastructure in place so that he doesn't have to depend on that. Because right
What
now,
happened, dog?
like his album, he has an album that he recently released that he put on all the DSPs, the digital service providers, and they took it down saying that he was dealing with some kind of bots or something. They accused him of something and they took him down. So that kind of put him in a bind to kind of, I mean, his Bandcamp, his, another site is still up, but as far as the general DSPs like Amazon or YouTube and Spotify, they took them down. They put them on pause. So, this infrastructure, this stuff that we're talking about is of the utmost severe importance, that we control our data, we control what we're dealing with, because, yeah, we dealing with a beast that doesn't want us to succeed.
Correct, God. Correct. Absolutely. On the data part, and then I'm getting, it took me I'm going on 120 days in this project, dealing with the city because I'm coming from up north, even though I've been down here residing for a while. They're giving me and the guard justice a hard time with, conditional use permits and surveys. And so everywhere that there's original people that we're knocking on the door that are in these departments, the colored people coming in, and they're doing their research and connecting us to what we do and what we're about and what we teaching. And it's heavy down here because they got this place down here labeled as the Bible Belt. Quran and mathematics, it's not supposed to be down here. You ain't talking Christianity and the Bible, then they trying to get at you. So we had to get the community to love us for the purpose of what we were doing in the community, rather than what the stigma is about who we are and what we teach and what we're about. You know,
Peace
so
and
there's a,
cipher.
there's a level to the protection of the data that I'm working with. There's a level to the protection of the community asset part of it, and then there's another level where I got to actually come back and do something at the state of the art that can show the city that, you know, we're doing something that's beneficial that they're not doing. You know, so when we come together and we do all this, these are some of the components that I'm realizing on a professional level, be it professional on the positive side of building or the professional level on the positive side of those who want to destroy it. You know, these are the oppositions that I'm going up against. You know, so I want to make sure that everything I'm going through, when I complete this cipher, we sit down and we have these bills, that we can learn something from each one of us on what we can do to to make sure that they're comfortable, because it's a comfortability with them, especially when, you know, you got people that have been out here that did behaviors, which I'm finding more so is behaviors that's causing the mental blocks with them. You know, if they saying they one thing and they doing another, and then we're associating with them, and like, oh God, you know, or you know, my honorable name, you associating with these people, and you want our money, so to speak. So I had to set it up whereas I'm controlling it. I control the bank. That's why I got with, you know, got with K Born, because I want to make sure that any inside protections I can use, I'm using everybody within our cipher that got certain expertise, that can speak their language, give it to them in a warm current, and open the door so we can get funded and get and gravitate toward continuous business with these people because of the behaviors of others that were in the past and in the future. You know, so that's why I'm watching my behavior, how I move. I may not come to certain platforms because they taking pictures of me and seeing who I'm socializing with, and then they're placing things like on Facebook, Instagram. I don't even do any of those platforms. I don't do none of that at all. And yet my face is out there. So when they pull me on my Just Cipher Born, they every so often they pull people Facebooks, especially if you got something going on where it's a case study going on with, you know, with them, or, you know, they pull all that, and then they find I don't deal with that, but they do see me on certain platforms, from pictures from down where you was at, Lord Jamel, because the sister that I work with, she put it on Instagram. She put pictures out there. I can't tell her what to do. I advise her not to do certain things, but, you know, she's an artist and she makes her money by advertising herself and marketing. So I'm on some of that stuff, and I got some feedback from it, but it ain't from me personally, because I don't have it out there like that. I don't like the spotlight like that, God. When I do come in the spotlight, I got a purpose for it, you know. But that's why I'm on this platform with y'all, you know, so that whatever y'all do and everything I can do in the background, I don't want to be too much in the front line, especially when you're doing millions of dollars, and, you know, it just causes a lot of jealousy, envy, and money does things to people. You know, some people can't handle that, you know, and they think that we supposed to give them while we putting the work in. No, I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm here to help you if you really want to be helped. But if you here to hinder us, I will personally guarantee you, I want you out the way. You know, and me and Law Infinite had a strong bill about that. The pushback team. You know, the people, the naysayers, and the what they saying can't be done or whatever have you. So that's why I gave it to the guard, from blood to his ear. This is what we got to deal with, you know. But moving forward, you know, we got to get this thing legally structured so the operating agreement keeps people in check, and then the platform, the expertise allows us to have peace of mind, and then the flow of the financials, having the right people to make sure that those operating agreement financial pictures are being held up, so that when we leave here physically, we know that this thing is on autopilot. Our job is to lay it down, you know, as far as I can see. Now I would love to see more happen, but I know it's going to take years to do this, because we have a lot of years of, you know, stagnation. You know, hence, Lord Jamel, the reason why you put your tickets a certain way when we spoke about that. You know, it's
Right.
a certain crowd you want to draw, because everybody's not coming in for the right reasons. And some of them always think, because, you know, we give a pass to them, that it's going to be allowable in the future. This was a great event to see the turnout, but moving forward, all dollars must be accountable for if we're gonna make our goals be met on this heavy mission that we on, and it's a large task, God. It really is, and it takes finances to do it.
True indeed.
Peace of law, scientist.
Yeah, peace. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, God.
All right.
How you
Peace
Peace,
doing?
God.
to the cipher.
Praise God.
So that was the two major things I touched that I want to touch base on today, God. Is there anything else that we need to put down on pen and paper so we can come with the next meeting and actually get the ball rolling on it? That y'all can think of in y'all third eye?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go over
I don't know if you heard.
that science. I'm gonna go through that science that Lord Jamel, put down. We'll go through that again and touch base with you during the week, and then we could do the next call, I guess the following month, the first Sunday of Cipher See the Truth. But also to touch on, he's talking about these different platforms that and that you're not on Supreme Mathematics. This data thing has really become big data, like large data, like in terms of even on the subways or the tolls of the bridge, anywhere you go where there are cameras, facial recognition is in full effect, guys. So yeah, you may not be on these platforms, but you're out in the world, and anywhere you're in the public, your image is being captured and is being put into a system to whereas wherever you go, they can identify you. And that this is where the data is going. And it may not be 100% there yet now, but it's definitely on its way. So that's something to be mindful of in terms of this, how important this data is in controlling our data, because they're collecting data on a large scale, on many levels.
Hey, Scott. Do you think that it would be uh, check with everybody and then come with a specific agenda? Because you're talking about meeting once a month, and that's really not enough time to be. That's too long, too far apart. We probably need to meet twice a month, but we need to have a specific agenda for when we meet, so that we know exactly what we're going to do. We know exactly how long the call is going to be. You know what I mean? And we can meet twice a month and be most effective, rather than meeting once a month and then the rehashing of everything it takes so long because we're so far away from the things that we said that we were going to do.
All right, so we got the first Sunday locked down, God. So what other day will you suggest that we want to do another
The
meeting?
third. So this way we meet every 2 weeks, but we got specific agendas that we want to deal with when we do meet, and we just not shoveling shit up against the wind or just we're just not pontificating. We're actually doing it.
We need to lock down what we're gonna do at these meetings.
And that's why I asked you if you would mind taking the forefront, you know what I mean, and come up with an agenda, a specific agenda. Now, anybody who has a specific task that they need to address on these bi-weekly meetings, they would contact you so you could add it to the agenda.
All right. Yeah, God, I don't have no problem with stepping up to the plate and maintaining that. I just need to put it in the calendar. Right now I'm off on the weekends. So if it's going to continue to be on on Sunday, then we can move forward to have the next two meetings edged in stone for Cipher See Truth. Right now we have the first Sunday. So if we want to do another one midway into that month, that's great. All we have to do is agree on that and then put it out there for text message or whatever for all of those who want to participate to agree. Now, going into the agenda, I pointed out two things that need to be done, like a law of a law power, which is that operating agreement and getting this thing legally structured with having professional people be on board with us. I'm willing to do that operating agreement first because it's so intense. There's a lot of things that we need to discuss in there.
Well, I can help you with that, God. That's why I recommended you, because you seem to be on the exact same page that I am when it comes to that. So it's like, yo, if you do it, I got your back, God. You know what I mean? So I drew up those bylaws and all that stuff, God.
Right.
So I
Now,
already have it already in my computer. So any changes that need to be made, we just make the changes. We don't have to
correct.
reinvent the wheel. Correct.
Correct. That's why I want to make that next meeting about that. I want to make that next meeting about the operating agreement because everything that we do is based on how we operate. Okay. And that operating agreement is in agreement to the non-cipher agreement 140. That way we got to all agree. And then once we all agree on that, boom, then I can begin to, I can stretch the rubber band a little bit more, God. I really don't want to stretch that rubber band yet until we get that on the table. So that's what I want to do that next meeting about, that operating agreement, so that we can all be educated on that operating agreement that you gave as a template. Those of us that are in the field that have operating agreements already know about it, but this particular operating agreement is based on whether we be in an investment group or how we want to structure ourselves so that we can be in sync with the data and everything moving forward. God.
Infinite, do you have a specific task that you want to add to the agenda for in 2 weeks?
Well, I'm my forte is this data thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Figuring out this whole data, so I can bring you updates on how I see everything going with the data and everything, and Supreme Mathematics, y'all have he has the expertise in the real estate, so he could bring that and we could just figure out how connect dots on that.
Scientists as well.
Right, scientists as well.
Do you have everything, scientists? Do you have like what the guard Lord Jamel sent out?
No, if you're talking about operating agreements, I haven't received anything, but I'm familiar with operating agreements. They're pretty much template agreements unless you fine tune it to say specific wording. But
well, what I sent was a coalition of business-minded gods. I sent a whole forum for how we do that, how we create a coalition amongst us. You know what I mean? So basically, it's called the Economic Unity Council. So what it is?
Has there been a mission? Has there been a mission statement like put together? What?
Indeed, God. A mission statement, a logo, everything, God.
Business plan, structure, everything is in there, God.
I need you to go over it,
right,
and tell me what you need to augment. Tell me what you need to like correct, change, or delete.
Correct.
All right, where did you send? You sent it there to the email. You sent it via email.
Yes.
All right, I don't think you sent it to me, so I could send you my email. You could just send it to me.
Right.
Matter of fact, I put my email in the chat right now.
And a lot of scientists, if you want to co-chair that with me, God, since we're in that real estate space, that would be great. So that way, any deficiencies that I may not, have in my arsenal, then it'd be good to have two minds working as one.
Right.
Then they can, then what we can do is they can vote us in. So that means we can stay in contact. So when any agenda like this come up, then we can address the data. So if Mecca got anything with data that he's concerned about within the agreement, we can address all these issues moving forward with the commercial data, purchasing, anything relating to that agreement and that business plan. Then when we have that meeting, we can give updates on our research and things like that. If you're willing to take on that weight with me, God, I appreciate that.
All right, I'm gonna take a look at the document, go through it, and then I'm gonna add my 2 cents to it and see, what I'm saying, what
Thank
we could
you, God.
do. Yeah.
All right, peace. All right, yeah.
One of the most important things we have to look at too. We got to look at resources, what our objectives is going to be doing once we come together. Because I'm pretty sure everyone in this cipher this is not the first rodeo that they're going through when it comes to coming together to do something collective. So we have to really go through things with a fine tooth and make sure that we being very precise and concise about exactly what we want to do and how we're going to do it. Because we talking about resources, we talk about money and finances, so we're going to have to identify what type of resources do we have to do the things that we want to do.
Absolutely, Lord.
All right, so I dropped my email in the box.
I got it, God. I got it, God.
All right. Yeah, I got it as well.
All right, so the only thing we need now, Law Infinite, is to schedule a date to follow up with everyone after that first Sunday.
Okay.
If we don't come up with a date now, we can have a tentative date, and then you can send a group text message out to see what will work for the universal family, and then we can all come back and agree on that. So we don't lock it in without others saying that we didn't have an opportunity to put it on that because everybody got busy schedules and things like that. So let's just put something tentative out there and then see what feedback we get, and then we'll lock it down prior to that next date.
So the following Sunday, not because next week would be the Knowledge Power Day. So on the Wisdom Day, tentatively, we could have another one. That's 2 weeks from now, and then 2 weeks
Correct.
from now.
All right, Wisdom Day. Okay.
Yeah, and the first Sunday of Cypher See the Truth is the Equality Day. So we're looking at between the Wisdom Day of September for the next follow-up call, and then the next one on the Equality Day of Cypher See the Truth.
Correct.
I'll send out a text to everyone, see what everybody's schedule is like and see if that works for everybody. And we'll take it from there. We'll leave it in the chat, in the text chat.
Yo, God, include the Google.
Say that again?
Include a Google Calendar, God.
Okay, Google Calendar, right.
All right. Did I lose you?
Yeah. I'm good. Right, so yeah, so I think that's pretty much it though, right? Anything else that we add
Yeah,
on?
a lot of sites. I'm gonna send you my number so you have my number.
All right.
So I sent you an email already, man. But I'm gonna send you scientist. I'm gonna send you an email with the documents
Okay.
as soon as we get off this call.
All right.
All right, true.
All right, well,
And Supreme, I'll correspond with you as well as far as agenda items and so forth.
Okay, God. So I just sent you the number so you have it. And
All
Lord Jamel, take that number down as well. So if you can't get me on that other number, you have that map with the other map. I got 2 maps I'm working with now.
I do as well. I think you got both my maps, right?
Yeah, I got both yours. Right. And I got the email. I just need you to take that map down. I just sent in the chat.
All right, true. Put mine in there as well.
Well, both of them are both numbers are active, so I can reach you on either one of them.
Correct.
All right, that's big, bro.
Call me on the first one first. If you don't reach me there, or for whatever reason, then you can hit me on the other one. I mean, I got a landline too, but no need.
I think I only have one cell number of yours, Lord Jamel.
Really?
I want to say, hold on, I'm looking right
Shit.
now.
Call me, God. I'm sending now.
Yeah. I only got the
443-985.
Yeah, I only got the 410.
985-4614.
Wait. Okay, so pardon me. Say that one more time.
443. I just texted 443-985-4614.
You just texted, you said?
Yes, that's 7 on Demand's phone number. 443-985-4614.
Okay, where'd you text it to? You texted to?
I put it in the chat.
Okay. I'm seeing yours in the chat. I don't see yours. I see Supreme Mathematics, but I don't see yours.
All right, well, let's try this another way then.
You shoot me a text. Oh, my phone number.
Yeah, a lot of scientists, when you get a minute, send me a text message so I have your number as well, God.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
All right.
Okay, chat. You didn't get it? Oh, it says direct message. All right.
Let's see. You send this direct message?
Hold on, God. I'm gonna resend it to the
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna say peace to the gods. We'll tune in.
Okay.
Indeed.
Please, God. I just got a email from the infrastructure, the data infrastructure email. I'm gonna share it with y'all. I'm gonna share it in the chat here. Let me see, right? Okay. This is what was said. Oh, message is too long to send. Put it in here. So basically, he was saying, building infrastructure is not a major problem as much as the challenge of funding. Nonetheless, this is a bridge to plan, build, connect, and walk over later, depending on different areas of monies and revenue or any other source funding to support the project. It is not impossible. Many people do it. It's just getting the best minds together to do it. We have the talent. It's just aggregated that talent supremely with a plan. To deal with the knowledge in order to build, to my knowledge, we are still in the discovery phase of this project to gather all that is required to do so. As recommended previously, we thoroughly first identify all required infrastructure and then go from there. Standing by to build and add on as my talents and opportunities can be great to the gods. The finalized law implemented, yes, making own it is the way, especially now because censorship is probably going to expand. The platforms are probably are the platforms are the problem now, but in contrast or in parallel, it could later be censorship with the internet service providers, which is a whole other ballgame. Nonetheless, for now, completely understanding owning our own platform, which can be done. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. So that's from get the guy's name. He has his government name here.
Master I.
No, Master I is on the side. I want to say it's another brother. I don't have his
Oh, you talk. I know who it is. It's Cypher King.
Cyber King McCowan, right?
Not sure. I don't know his government name, G. But
No,
I
no,
know that
no,
when he send emails, it'd be his government name.
yeah, it might be Cypher King. But that's one of the emails that's on the list of brothers that were responding to the review of video streaming infrastructure planning docs. So and you're on that. You're on that. You're on this one, right?
Give me a second. I'm just trying to look this up.
Okay.
Damn. Now, what was it got, Bill?
No, it's the email. You can check that email I think you're on the email list. You're on that same email list. So with the guard just sent, you should have. I could forward everything to Supreme Mathematics as well. To be able to see.
Yeah, God, I'm listening. I'm doing it now. So everything going on, God.
Okay, so
All right, so let's look.
I
Inbox.
I just share what's in.
Video stream infrastructure.
Yep. It's on the last one. So I just
Nah, that's not Cypher King because Cypher King is one included.
he's what? Cyber King is what?
He's included. Oh no, you sent me this, God.
I sent you what?
The Kasim DSP joint.
Yes, right. But then he responded, and his response is what I just read off to
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got it, God.
Yeah. So that was me. What I was building on, I was just adding on to the actual email because it was in reference to our data. So I was responding with, some current events in terms of what happened with the guard and the importance of why, this conversation that we're continuing to have is severely important. All right. So but other than that, God, you could just send me, you could text me the other math to my phone so I have it.
Yeah, indeed, God.
I only got the 410 number. All right. So we peace, everything else peace.
Yeah, I think we good, God.
We great, God.
Okay, Almighty. So
Right. So we just waiting on a text message on to have the agenda. So we have a shotgun agenda on the operating agreement first, and then once we do that, then we'll jump into the next thing that follows that, and I'll build with a lot of scientists, and I'll keep you updated on our bills so that me and him can come together and bring it to the family on what we see in that operating agreement, and then put some things out there that we would like to see change, and then get the feedback.
Okay.
And the other thing is, man, I reached out to Now Allah, man. He never hit me back, man. So I don't know how to forward him this currency, God. If I give you the currency, now I really want to take care of him myself. I don't even want to give you the currency. I want to build with him.
So now, you speak about okay, yes.
Yeah, God. I reached out to him like a dozen times, God.
Okay. All right. Well, you want me to have him call you or you want
Yes, God, that would be great, God.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I got his math. I called him, I texted him. He not responding, God. I just want to hit him and build with him, man. You know what I mean? I want to make it right. Because that's what we do, God.
True indeed, God. So I'll when I get off the phone with you, I'll reach out to him and see what's what. And as soon as I hear back from I'll tell him to hit you up, but I'll keep you posted, God, and as far as our communication goes.
All right, indeed. Peace to God.
All right. Peace.
God.
Have a great day, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
Mathematics. Peace, God.